Live from some circus room tent in the middle of goddamn nowhere. It's the Tanuki Time Show. What's crack-a-lackin' up, buddies? Jasper Fotia here. On set, on scene. Welcome, one and all. So, today's stream, it's going to be a lot different from any of the past shows because we're not doing gameplay commentary. We're not drawing anything right now. We are doing something that I don't think a lot of YouTubers or streamers in general would ever attempt to do. We're going to have our own little comedy show. Yeah, that's what I decided to do today. That's what I decided to do tonight. I don't blame you for thinking that this is an odd thing. An odd choice. You know what? It's a little bit quiet right now. I don't have like really good comedy music picked out, so we're gonna play my our normal BGM. It's not the most like comedy driven one, but it's gonna have to do because like we don't have a lot else. So, why did I want to do this? Why did I want to do a comedy show tonight? And why did I want to do that? Well, I really didn't have a better time to stream than right now at this time because my schedule, working at the circus is very busy. It demands that I work many late nights, and some nights I just don't really have time to stream unless it's really late. And tomorrow is one of those days where I'll be working for the circus so late at night that it's actually going to be impossible for me to stream at all. So we're taking tomorrow off. And since it's super late tonight anyway, I figured why not do what so many people, so many entertainers have done in their time, in their lives, and try our hand at late night comedy, late night show stuff, that kind of thing. I'm coming for you, Colbert, John Oliver, Seth Meyers. Yeah, those guys. I'm coming for them. Samantha Bee, you too. I'm specifically coming for them. Trevor Noah, not coming for you because he does a daily show. I don't think that's the same as a late show. I'm calling all you out. This is already a train wreck, doomed to fail probably. But hey, this is what I promised. This is what I said I was gonna do, and I'm not backing out right at this point. So, how do you kick off a late night comedy routine after such a brilliant opening such as that one? Really one of the best that's ever existed. Well, you got your typical comedy show shtick. They start off with like some sort of random opening that doesn't really mean a lot to anyone. And it leads into a story time, yeah? Like you say something about your life, you string it along into a cohesive narrative, and it ends with a punchline that doesn't have like the best moral, but it teaches you something about life. And that's that life is pretty funny sometimes. So, I think I've rambled on enough, so how about we try to segue into a story with that? Though I don't have too many stories that I can segue right into. I shared some stuff on my VTuber debut. That didn't really. I shared some stuff about my poor decision-making choices and the fact that I was nearly brutally killed at infancy. I guess not killed, more like manslaughtered or Tanuki slaughtered. Oh, this show's gonna be a train wreck. I hope everybody watching this in post out of morbid curiosity hasn't already left. Because, like, Jesus Christ. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe it would have been a better idea to, write a script. But like I said, I'm a busy Tanuki. We got a lot of things going on in our lives these days, A lot of us are stuck at home and everything. We can't really go out to places, but not all of us don't have the luxury of, trying to ride this out in a safe environment. Some of us voluntarily or not involuntarily, we have to get out there. We have to be in the line of fire. It's like we're being drafted at acceptance to instead of a battlefield with guns and stuff, it's pathogens and stuff that kill you instead. Which I guess some people had to deal with that in actual wars. This is a very morbid and not at all what I was thinking of when I had this idea in mind. Comedy show. We were supposed to have fun and laughs tonight. Let's see. Well, I guess I could talk about some of my stories with some awful people that I've met in my time doing circus work, You might think, oh, you meet awful people in circus work, all you have to do is entertain them. How bad could it be? Well, it's not just entertaining masses amount of people, nut buddies. It's not just that. The circus is a lot more than just the entertainment show. You have food stands, games that are around for people to play. I guess that's more like sometimes our circus acts more like a full-ass carnival than anything. And, we are the main show, the main act, but we have to help around, in those other areas as well. And sometimes the people that we meet in, that day-to-day life experience comes, they aren't always, the most enjoyable people. Case in point, sometimes we offer special discounts for the food stuff that you get. If you buy one popcorn, you get a second popcorn at a reduced price usually. And if you happen to be a frequent customer, a frequent circus goer, you typically get a slightly even more reduced price. But the difference is usually only about $1 at most. So it's really nothing a reasonable person would really throw a fit over, I spent $1 more on this popcorn than I could have if I had just gone through the proper process to get that reduced price. Well, I guess that's 4 gumballs that I'm not getting. Some people, nut buddies, they really want those extra gumballs. Case in point, I had to put up with a lady at one of the food stalls who I rung her up for her items. She was getting a 2-for-1 deal with her popcorn, and she was still getting a discounted price because it was the regular bargain that we offer our normal customers and stuff like that. But she wanted the extra reduced price, and it was indeed $1's worth of difference. And that was annoying to me because, the fact that she came back over to our stall after the fact as well to do that just kind of told me that this lady is going to be a problem to deal with. And, it wouldn't be too big of a problem if it was just her, but keep in mind, this is a very busy place of business. This circus has a lot of people who all want to get their popcorn, and nut buddies, that lady was holding up quite a few people with her shenanigans because the process to actually get her that $1 back was so long and so not worth it. It took 2 minutes to go, 3 whole minutes to get through the whole post-void thing to try to get, because, like, it's a process, man. You have to go through everything. You can't just give her the $1 back. You have to do it the way the computer wants you to do it. Otherwise, all the math gets screwed up, and then suddenly you get in trouble for, not going through the proper procedures. Yeah, I was the son, the kid, the special boy at the circus. My parents were basically run the whole thing, but you still have to go through the processes, okay? They have their own bosses, too, and they would get mad about, things not going right. So, your boy had to go, and went through the process through that, holding up a big line. Then, again, let me remind you, this is for $1. We had to give her that $1 back on one of our Carnival Circus gift cards. And the reason for that was because she used some of her special Circus Carnival membership perks and benefits to purchase the popcorns that she got. Meaning that we couldn't refund her the $1 difference normally because of the way that she bought the popcorns. She had to get refunded that through Carnival credit. So, in the end, it took 5 minutes to refund her $1 that she will only ever use at our carnival again. And it's one of many painful experiences that I have, working and dealing with people outside of just entertaining them. That's why I like you guys. You don't complain to me about not getting the jokes that you wanted whenever you come visit my streams or watch them on YouTube. If you have a problem with what I'm doing, you can just put me on mute or just close the video or just watch something else, and I don't have to deal with it. Yeah, you could also just leave a comment that says that I suck, but I could also just reply back, you suck, and then we have fun with that. It's quite something, honestly. Like, being able to do this, stream, even if my audience isn't that big, or even if it's non-existent right now, because, my god, the house is looking mad empty. I know, maybe, you guys watching post-stream are enjoying the show so far. You should see the audience that I'm working with here tonight. They're dead as hell, man. Then again, I guess maybe I don't make for the best comedian. Or maybe comedian acts are just not all that popular anymore. I'm kind of just going at it. I'm freeballing at this point, man. Because, what else am I gonna do? Who's gonna stop me? That's the freedom of being a streamer on the internet. No one can stop me from doing what I want here. Aside from maybe YouTube themselves. But what are they gonna do? Delist my videos? Take away monetization? I ain't got none of that. Sure, I would like that, but I don't got that. And until you give it to me, you can't take it away from me. Checkmate, YouTube. I can do whatever the hell I want as a small VTuber, and you can't do shit to me. I'll curse and be as un-COPPA compliant as I want to be, and I will also, make everything about, as NSFW as I can, without the video getting, age restricted. I'll show you. I'll show you in your dumb policies and your inability to do anything that makes people happy. I gotta be honest. On that, buddies. It's gonna be kind of tough for me to get through this whole act, even if we go for the full hour, because my mouth is already very tired just for talking for 15 minutes straight. When I'm playing games, I can stop talking in for certain periods, whether it's a voice acted cutscene, I don't want to interrupt it, or if I'm focused and concentrating to give you guys a good show. But it's very difficult with nothing else happening going on to I say that like your children who constantly need something dangling from them. Like, wah! Ah! Look at this Nuki boy. He's moving around. Oh, he's doing the movements. His hair's bobbling. His eyes are wavering. Wow! Look at all this movement on screen, young children. Do you see this? Oh, wait. Children don't watch this because if they did, then that wouldn't be very COPPA compliant, would it? Oh, no! I guess, like, let's see, I guess I could try to, reel this show back in to what it was originally intended to be, by talking more about some stories from my past, make this more like the comedy show that I intended for it to be. I think most comedians, they practice their acts, they script a lot of their stuff. They improv where they can, but they go in with a plan of action, and they don't deviate too much from that plan, because it's all very rehearsed, Because if they don't have everything ready to go and they don't act, semi-professionally, then what are they gonna do? Like, all the people that hired and worked on the show, they're going to be very pissed. It's not great to have all the work that you put into something completely, like, debauched by poor performanceship. Let's see. And I was trying to think of a segue. Case in point, I was trying to think of a segue of how I could spin that into a new story, but I couldn't think of a segue because I didn't have anything planned. Oh my god, this show's a mess. Oh no. Why would anybody be watching this? If you've made it to this point, to the 18 minute 25 second mark of the stream, and you haven't, like, decided that I'm complete garbage at this point, I commend you guys. You guys are real ones. Either that, or you really like to suffer. And I'm glad to give it to you if that's the case, but I don't know how much you guys really like that. Or if you're really into that, or if I should, get a restraining order. Coming up with stories is hard, man. I just keep talking. I just keep going, thinking that I might, hear or think about something to talk about as a story as I keep going, but nothing comes up. I'm trying really hard to think of a funny story from, like, my past that I can share. Oh! Well, I guess I do have some stuff, but a lot of it comes down to my physical appearance. Now, not buddies. Your boy ain't stupid. I know that I don't look or sound like the manliest man you ever did meet. In fact, big pink floofy hair, and I'll be honest, like, let me step back a little bit. Nut buddies. Look at these hips. Look at these hips of mine. Do these look like the hips of a masculine male who absolutely is, like, the alpha of every conversation he's in? Just look at these. These hips don't lie. Alright? Let me get back up to the mic. So yeah, as you can guess, I get mistaken for female quite often. And it used to bother me a lot as a kid, as a small child, because I'm not a female. And, being a kid just trying to discover himself, try to figure out what he's all about. It's frustrating for people to tell you or mistake you for something you're not. But These days I I just lean into it because I know there isn't anything I can do to change my voice as it is without, external forces like a voice changer, which I don't use. I have not used once since I started streaming. And my physical appearance, it'll be as it is until, I get really old and stuff. So, while I have these looks, I might as well use them. And that's kind of where I'm at right now mentally. Because if I were to go back to, or rather, if old me were to be in my current place, he would be trying everything he could to convince the people around him that he's not a girl. He'd do everything in his power to do it, and he would throw a big fit about it. But now, people mistake me for a girl, and it's like, oh, well, alright then. It's your call. I guess it's mostly because I'm more comfortable in my own skin now, but also, there's just so much fun you can have when people mistake you for something you're not. And I've kind of learned to embrace that. Case in point, aside from my circus work, your boy also did some work for a certain junk food company, famous for delivering hot spicy pies to customers' doors, and I'm not gonna name them because I don't want to get in trouble with big companies, but I will say, if you were aware of them in the summer of 2018, chances are you heard about them in the news because their Big Daddy CEO said a thing that most of the modern world was not very happy with. So that's the one hint I'll give you. Basically, I was a delivery boy for a short time because, working at the circus is nice, doesn't really pay the bills. So I needed to take some side jobs to make some money to, buy things that I wanted. And it paid all right. I got some great tips and all that. The thing is, though, with my looks and voice, not every customer thought they were getting a delivery boy. They thought they were getting a delivery girl. And I think around that time is when I started really leaning into and accepting it. Because, just to put frankly, the ones that thought I was a girl, just more often gave me more money as in tips. And I know that sounds bad, because that implies some sort of inequality in the systems, or I'm saying that girls just get more tips than guys. And I don't mean to say that. There's obviously exceptions to it, but at least in the area that I worked in, it kind of felt like that. Case in point, or at the very least, it felt like girls in the region that I lived in got forgiven for their mistakes, or got more leniency towards what was going on with them compared to some of the guys. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. It's just kind of that's how it felt like. And I have a story to support this. Oh my god, hey, the audience is alive. Welcome. Hello. Oh, this is a new nut buddy. Hi there. I haven't seen you around, friend. How are we doing? I was just spinning a yarn about your boy and his not so boyish voice being used to inadvertently or unintentionally fool some poor man who just wanted to get himself a pizza. This guy that I was delivering to is hello again. I was delivering him a spicy meat pie. It was an all meats. That was what they ordered. I bring it up to them, and he's a little bit dissatisfied with it because, I don't know, I don't really remember if he specified this or not when he placed the order, but there was pork on the pizza, but he for religious reasons, he couldn't eat that pork, and that was a big problem because, like, you know, we can't serve this pizza to him because of that. So I had to call the store back up, let them know what was going on. And, you know, we had a bit of a debacle about that. I actually called the store up in front of the customer to, you know, fix the situation because I wanted to show him, to let him know that I was going to do what I could to help him get his pie fixed, because no one should have a pie that they can't eat. That's not right. And you know, maybe that was my mistake, because since I was calling right in front of him, he asked if he could speak to the person that I was talking to, you know, help to resolve the issue on his own. And I was a bit of a pushover back then, so I wasn't going to say no. I hand the guy the phone, and, you know, I stay there to get my phone back when he's done talking. But I also listened to what he's saying, and I don't remember exactly what he's saying, but a few of his words did stick out. A few of his words were, "This nice young lady was trying to deliver me the pizza, but either she brought me the wrong one, or you guys gave her a pizza that had a mistake on it." And I didn't say anything. I made no effort to correct him, as he was saying these words, using these pronouns that did not apply to me, because I didn't want to be rude. He was speaking, but also I had a thought click in my head. How long can I keep up the appearance of a delivery girl before he realizes that he is horribly mistaken? Anyway, that was my thought process. I wanted to see if this guy would catch on at any point that he was mistaken about my identity. So after he's done talking on the phone, I take the phone back and I let him know, "All right, sir, not a problem. I'll get this fixed for you as soon as possible. I promise you, I will get that taken care of. Just expect me. My name's Thomas. I'll be not Jasper. Jasper. My name's Jasper. I don't know who this Thomas guy is. I don't know who that is. My name is Jasper. I will get that to you as fast as possible." Now, he heard the name Jasper. I made sure he heard my name. And instead of thinking, this person's name is Jasper, I guess I was mistaken in thinking that this was a female. He instead thought, this person's name is Jasper. That's a weird name for a girl. So, yeah, because, like, he specifically asked me, how did you end up with a name like Jasper for a girl? He specifically asked me that. And I'm doing my best not to laugh or, like, slug him for that. It was just what my parents picked for me. I couldn't tell you. You have to ask them. Anyway, I wrap up the conversation with the guy. I go back to pizza shop, and I tell my bosses about what happened, and we all just start laughing our asses off, because out in the middle of this city, there's a poor, confused man with no pizza, and an absolutely zero common sense whatsoever, wondering when the delivery girl named Jasper is coming back with his pizza. And you know what, nut buddies? The funniest thing is he was still going to leave me a tip. He was still going to leave me a tip despite that. And that's why I said earlier why I think that being mistaken for a girl gets me more leniency, because I had no reason to believe that this man would still give a tip to a delivery boy who messed up his order. I had no reason to believe that. And he was talking to me like I was some innocent little damsel who was just trying to do her job right, and was one of the victims here. I had no reason to believe this person would have that same thoughts of a guy delivery driver. And it's not like a one-time occurrence either. But I'll get to that maybe another time later tonight. I go back to the shop to grab the guy's pizza, and it gets messed up again. They add the pork onto the pizza again. I don't know how that happened. Like when we specified that it needed to be a pizza that had no pork. But yeah, he's upset because I delivered him a second pizza that didn't have that had something he couldn't eat on it. I maybe should have checked that first. It was my fault on that one, but that led to another conversation on the phone. Nut buddies, where he was talking to my manager, my boss at that store, and again, using female pronouns, still had not figured out that he was talking about a guy delivery driver. And my boss, on the other hand, because I kind of explained the situation to them ahead of time, they played it really cool. They did not out me at all during that whole thing. In fact, they played along very well with it, because I had to know, could this man really not tell? Bear in mind, nut buddies, that I did not go out of my way to make myself look feminine in any way. In fact, I didn't even freshen up my face or anything like that. I looked very scraggy at the time when I was, on the shift for that day. So, if they had just taken a closer look at my face, they probably would have been able to figure it out very quickly. Anyone really would have been able to figure it out quickly. Except for this guy, apparently. It was a laugh riot. I don't think he ever figured it out. I think to this day, he still thinks that he was talking to a girl delivery driver. I wonder about him, did he ever order from that pizza shop again? I'll never know, because after 2 failed orders, I decided I wasn't gonna go ahead and deal with this guy again. I could get so many more orders done for other people and make more money. I had my fun. I had my laughs. I was done with him. And that basically just kind of that basically kind of sums up that whole story. And I have other stories of people mistaking me for female, not just in that job, but in other side gigs that I had as well. And I gotta say, it's really picked up the pace recently since, the current state of affairs. Because, everywhere I go now, I have to wear a face mask, for safety purposes. And now most people can only take a guess based on my voice, my hair, what gender am I? They can maybe look at my body shape, but my body shape doesn't really look all that masculine either. I don't have a lot of muscle mass on me. So every time I go out in public, it's a toss-up of whether the person I'm going to be talking to or the people I'm going to be encountering that day will know if I'm male or female. And I could wear a name tag. Everywhere I go. But as I've clearly established here with this story tonight, names mean nothing at all. Because some people just aren't able to comprehend that. I mean, I guess in a way, it's very progressive of them to not have their ideas of, like, who can be named what restrained to one gender. That guy was very progressive to think that any girl could be named Jasper and it wouldn't be weird. It would. Well, I mean, he did think it was weird, but he didn't question it so much to the point where he thought that this couldn't be right or he must be mistaken. And I applaud that level of progressiveness in our society. We need more of that, you know? Just not enough people open-minded enough to accept the truth as it is. They're just so quick to jump to conclusions based on what they see. Like, on a previous stream, one of the nut buddies in the chat asked if I was a bear. I had to let him know, no, I'm not a bear, I am a tanuki. I can really want me to be. Like, okay, stream kind of froze up a little bit there. I think maybe my stream software didn't like the idea of me being a bear. So you know what? We're not gonna be a bear. I'm sorry to that guy. But we can't be a bear. The stream software is spoken. And we don't want to upset the stream gods. But I gotta say, I mentioned this earlier, but streaming has been a lot of fun. I've obviously not gotten a lot of high numbers, but you know, I'm just starting. Just having even one person live in the chat talking is great motivation because, you know, it doesn't feel like I'm talking to a dead room. And even if you're not here live, I appreciate all you guys watching the VODs later, because I know I've been doing these late at night, and I know not everybody can come around to watch that. Some of you guys got to go to bed. Some of you guys got other things to do with your lives, and I understand that. I just appreciate you guys for coming back to keep watching my content, you know? Because that tells me that what I'm putting out for you guys is at the very least entertaining enough for you to keep coming back for more. I've streamed a lot of different games this past week. We had some fun at Smash Brothers Online, and I use the word fun loosely because there was a lot of frustration that night. We got to explore some Fire Emblem history. We played Bravely Default 2, which I don't know if it was just, you know, if I was really tired that night, but I guess that one was not the most fun. The reason I play so many different games is because right now I'm kind of just trying to feel out the waters. I want to know what you guys like, because I want to do more things to entertain you guys. If you guys like a specific game a lot, then I want to play that game more often for you. Of course, I'm not going to play something if I don't like it. That just wouldn't be any fun at all. But, I mean, if you guys like it, and I like it, well, let's just have some more of it. That's just common sense, man. I kind of segued a little bit into talking about how it's been as a streamer so far, but I guess that's a little bit of a weird thing to say when I've only been streaming consistently for about a week now. But, you know, we all start off somewhere. We all start off with a certain number of fans that may or may not be consistent, and that number grows over time. and eventually you find your niche, and you grow that niche, and then when that niche has reached its apex, you explore a new niche with the audience that you've developed, and reach an even wider, broader, I don't know why I'm explaining this to you guys. I'm pretty sure you've been around on YouTube to understand how people get popular. But I guess it's not just that. There's also a lot more to it. Like, hey, YouTube, who do you feel like deserves some attention today? That's why you should definitely like, comment, and subscribe on the stream, because it affects algorithms and stuff. And I know you guys want to make me more popular, right? You guys want to have more fun with more nut buddies, right? You want to expand our audience, right? You would definitely not leave me hanging, right? You're definitely gonna like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep watching my streams on a daily basis, right? 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 Is it a good idea to threaten your audience? I mean, has it not worked? Because I feel like any VTuber who has verbally threatened their audience has kind of gotten away with it and gotten more popular for it. I mean, think about it. Think about it, nut buddies. Calliope Mori, her deadbeats are constantly in the presence of death herself. And I mean, she's cool and chill for the most part, but she could slay any one of them at any time, and she would not hesitate to do it. And they all keep coming back for more. Because when all else fails, an ultimatum can make you do wondrous things. Whenever I'm feeling like lazy, some days, like when I'm feeling lazy, even though I know I should be working and there's stuff that needs to get done, some days I'll just go ahead and give myself a little threat to get myself going. Like, Jasper, if you decide to spend the rest of the day doing absolutely nothing and not working on the things that you said you were going to do today, then, well, I'm not going to inflict self-harm or anything like that, but I'll make myself feel really bad. That's my punishment. And I'll get sad. I get really upset by that. I like to feel productive, you know? I like to be able to feel like I'm doing something at any given time of day. Because whenever I'm not doing something, I'm doing nothing. But thank you for coming to the TED Talk. I wonder if I've been breathing a little bit too hard tonight. Like, after a string of sentences, I feel like I need to take a breath. I'm feeling a little bit stuffy. I think that's probably it. I'm feeling oddly congested right now. I don't know where this came from, because this wasn't a problem earlier tonight. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that suddenly... I'm gonna have to take some medicine for that. Nothing worse than ugh. Now, buddies, don't you just hate when you're trying to do a show, and then all of a sudden you get a big old stuffy nose that you can't deal with right now because you're trying to be entertaining for an audience? I mean, I guess some people would find this entertaining, like, is this entertainment? Is, like, congested breathing ASMR gonna be a thing? Does that do anything for you? Oh, it really hits hard, though. Yeah, that's quite the congestion. I'll have to fix that somehow. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's gonna affect my voice for the rest of the stream. Well, I guess we're doing the last quarter of this show with a nasally voice. I hope you guys are ready for this, because the show must go on. I'm not gonna baby out of this now just because I'm suddenly feeling like I can't breathe through my nostrils. We got a mouth to do that for us, and I'm gonna use it. So I hope you guys have been having a good night tonight, and I hope that, you know, if you made it to this point in the stream, either through the backlogs or watching it live, then thank you very much. I don't know why you did it, though. Do you just like me that much? Or do you like tormenting yourself a bunch? Because I won't judge either way. It's your own thing. Like, some people are into that. I joked about it on my debut stream, but I guess I kind of am into that myself. So if you want to get on my good side, just lay yourself out for me to step on. No, please don't do that. But I do have like a sixth sense of, I do have a bit of a sixth sense of humor, because comedy is derived of suffering, friends. And if no one is suffering, then can it really be considered funny? Like that whole story I was talking about with like the androgyny and all that. I don't know if anyone was really suffering. I at the time when the story was happening was like being mistaken for something I wasn't, and somebody else wasn't getting their pizza. That wasn't really true suffering. That was just a case of mistaken identity. Excuse me. So, if we're talking about a case of suffering and how, I suppose I could talk about, oh jeez, well, I suppose I could talk a little bit about how I play games. And how that I make people suffer while playing them. Because whenever I'm playing a multiplayer game with friends, I have one of two goals in mind. Either complete the objective and show off to my friends as much as possible how great I am at the game that we're playing, or alternatively, option B, I make their time playing this game miserable as possible. Back when Super Mario 3D World was a new game and not a port to Nintendo Switch, me and a couple of buddies played it on the Wii U, and had some fun, like, going through all the stages and all that. But for whatever reason, two of them just decided they didn't want to collect green stars. Even though that's a very important objective in that game, collecting green stars, because at certain points you can't progress through the game unless you've collected a certain amount of green stars. And I said as much to them as we were progressing through the game, guys, we gotta get these things, otherwise we're not gonna be able to play more of the game. But the more that I insisted we had to get them, they seemed to insist that we don't get them at all, and they just wanted to spite me at that point because we were passing through entire levels without getting a single green star. It's quite annoying. So you know what? Your boy decided that if that's how they wanted to be, then we would do everything in our power to get as many of these green stars on our own to make them suffer for it. And we were gonna do it while also being the top player the entire time. Because in Super Mario 3D World, you all get your individuals. Each player gets their own individual score, and whoever gets the highest score at the end of the level gets a little crown to wear on their head. up to at least the next level. Now, you can lose that crown, yes, but it's a status symbol. It shows that you are currently carrying the team. You're the one that's putting in all the work, getting all the high score stuff. And your boy was holding that crown for the most part because I was going out of my way to make sure that I got those green stars as often as possible, which have really high score yields. And it was just so funny at the time because the reactions to me defying them and trying to play the game in a way that they didn't want to play the game, it was great. And it felt even better because at the same time, I was also setting my status above them and making them feel a fool for daring to challenge me. One specific instance where I remember, like, I really messed with them is, like, I tricked them into going to, like, a secret area or doing a certain task in the level that was entirely optional. Tricking them into thinking that it's something we had to do. And then the green star appeared and I just went ahead and took it. And they screamed their heads off. They said, Jasper! Jasper, how could we... We trusted you! How could you do this to us? And the moral of that story, I guess, is you can't trust me. Because I will do whatever I feel like in the moment if I think it's funny, even if it means backstabbing everybody that I know and love. So never turn your back towards me, not buddies. You might regret it. And that really is the moral of the night, if I'm being entirely honest, because frankly speaking, I don't have a better moral for you. So I hope that you enjoyed the show tonight, because even though it hasn't been a full hour yet, it's been 53 minutes and 25 seconds, and my nostrils have decided they don't want to function anymore, and I am out of conversation topics, and I'm also out of energy, so I think we're going to call it here. We're gonna call it here for tonight. Nut buddies. But before we go, hang on a second. I do want to take this time to thank you guys for this past week. It's been a lot of fun to experiment with streaming and, getting back into it because, like, I've tried streaming before in the past several times and it never really felt like it worked out. But this time around, it feels a lot different because even if it hasn't been many people, there have been people that have come by to watch and chat with me during the stream, and it's been a lot of fun. And it really feels great to have, like, an engaged audience. And I don't say this without, like, any big grand reason. Because, like, you guys are just coming here to watch some fun content, and I appreciate that you decided to come visit me, even if only for a little bit, even if only for partway through a stream, and even if you would rather be watching anybody else at the time. I appreciate that you guys came to watch me, and I'm gonna keep doing my best because you guys have shown that you care enough about me to go ahead and do that. So, later tonight, or rather tomorrow, or sometime Saturday, today-ish. I guess it would be today because it's the 13th now. Soon enough, I will be posting my schedule for next week. Right now, the way that I'm handling scheduling for streams is that I set times when I can stream as it comes available to me, because your boy's very busy with other stuff besides this, and I need to be able to set times for myself accordingly. So it's not going to be consistent. There are going to be days where I can't stream at all, and days where I'll have to stream very early or stream very late. But I will do my best to stream as often as possible. I'm going to pick out a few different games that we played last week to do more shows on. Excuse me. And I'm going to come up with some other ideas as well. There are some streams like that I'm going to need to take some more time to plan for. So I hope you guys look forward to that. I just need to, make sure that I can get that all set up because, I want to be able to collab with other VTubers is what I'm basically trying to say. But I don't know too many other VTubers personally. So, this is my call to action for you guys tonight. If you know any other VTubers who would love to, if nothing else, spend time chatting with or gaming with a very androgynous looking Tanuki boy with a sick sense of humor and who has very little hesitation to completely decimate the people that he likes and cares about for the sake of good content, please let them know that I am available and ready to have some fun. I'll be reaching out to some peeps as well, if and when that's possible. It may not happen next week or the week after, but it will happen eventually, soon enough. But for now, guys, I think that's gonna basically do it. I had fun tonight, despite the fact that it was very all over the place and it was a mess, and it wasn't even close to being a good, comedy show. But, it wasn't all bad. We might do something like this again sometime when I feel more confident and, we have more people to participate in it. I'll be trying other weird and random nonsense as well, I should mention, because I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential with, streaming stuff. Basically, we're going to throw a bunch of stuff at a wall and see what sticks. So I hope you guys are prepared for that. Anyway, I want to thank you guys all again for watching and enjoying the show. Whether you came here live or you're watching the VOD later, you're greatly appreciated. I'm starting to get very tired and loopy. I'm going to go pass out on bed now. So I'll talk to you guys another night. I still haven't worked out the outro. I'll just stick with good night, nut buddies, and don't forget to keep being nutty. Until somebody else suggests something better, that's just what we're gonna have to work with. You guys are gonna have to deal with that. I won't be the one. I will suffer no consequences for that. You guys are gonna be the ones that have to hear that at the end of every stream, unless one of you guys thinks of something better. So better get your brains working. Bye-bye!